A memorial service is being held for an Mpumalanga-based journalist and his partner today. The remains of Sibusiso Aserie Ndlovu and his partner Zodwa Mdhluli were found in Limpopo last month. This was months after they were reported missing. The service has been organized by the National Press Club and the African Media and Communicators Forum. Let's take you live. We will go there a bit later. All right, the G7 summit in Canada has ended with the leaders agreeing to new sanctions against Russia over the war in Ukraine. It was a rare show of unity during a summit marked by differences and the departure midway through of US President Donald Trump. The Middle East crisis between Israel and Iran also became a dominant issue and point of contention. President Cyril Ramaphosa was also in Canada to take part in key meetings at the summit. Nick Harper reports from the summit.
For much of this summit, the G7 leaders seemed to struggle with the issue of unity. There were many world problems that they were simply not able to agree on, and it was a summit that was largely overshadowed by the tensions in the Middle East between Iran and Israel. Donald Trump, one of the G7 leaders or members, left a whole day early, halfway through the summit, to deal with the unfolding situation in the Middle East. The G7 leaders on Monday were able to put out a joint statement calling for de-escalation, but during the course of Tuesday, Donald Trump seemed to be entertaining the idea of joining Israel in attacking Iran. On the issue of Ukraine, President Zelensky was here for day 2 of the summit, where they largely focused on that 3-year conflict. He, however, pointed out that there was disunity amongst the members of the G7, saying diplomacy was in a state of crisis. Donald Trump, remember, on Monday had said it was a mistake to have kicked out Russia in 2014 after it annexed Crimea. They did, however, manage to announce a range of new sanctions being imposed by the G7 on Russia. Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, said that overall they had had highly productive meetings, but he did say that this was just the beginning, not the end of their work. And for the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who was here for the meeting with many world leaders, it was an opportunity for him at a time of great importance for South Africa, leading the G20 this year, to meet some of those world leaders who will be taking part in talks in November in South Africa. He met with Mark Carney and joked that he was here to learn how to run a summit. Mark Carney said that the world was in South Africa's hands at a crucial time, heading into that G20 summit later this year. Nick Harper, SABC News, Banff, Canada.
All right, let's take you back to that memorial service that's being held in Mpumalanga for the journalist and his partner that passed away. That the remains of Sibusiso Aserie Ndlovu and his partner Zodwa Mdhluli were found in Limpopo last month. This was months after they were reported missing. Let's take you live to that. Vusi Mahlasela is currently speaking.
I was expecting to see some of other faces that I knew that, we were together with Sibusiso. The journey that we took, and that I'm going to sort of like really talk about it also a bit. To Mama, Mama, and the family, and then also to Zodwa, the family, and to us all. Tsidisehang. Kunzima kunje, one has to like really get closer. When I'm saying getting closer to accepting, because when I wake up and I just think about this, it's like, I'm not believing that this has really happened. All of you who know that Sibusiso was a very energetic character. And ube atumega, you will send Sibusiso to do things, and he will do justice to that. Mina ingovusi uMahlasela kaZwani. uSibusiso wakhulela eNelspruit, akhuliswa usisi wami uMakaZwani, with some of my kids. Nakabiza usisi wami auntie. And they came to know Sibusiso when Azangala in Pretoria. And then he started helping me with quite a lot of things. And then I helped him to start, the capital, I have the radio station, the online radio station. Some of the first broadcasts that were done at my house, in my studio, the first ones. Trying to work on doing things to get a better network and things like that. And there was a lot of things that he needed, and I helped him doing that to set all that. And I was happy that, it came to be, that his dream was there. Sibusiso was part of me, part of my family. At home, Sibusiso was somebody who will sort of like really manage some of the other things that I will ask him to do. And Kabaz, he will do that. And sometimes I'll say, hey, but to me, hey, and then we'll be on the phone like, no, don't worry, it's done. That's how it was with him. Sibusiso was also my tour manager when I was on the road doing some performances. He will help organize the booking of the artists, to make sure that, on stage, everything of mine is okay with the sound guy, communicating, and also communicating with the artists. So, guys, it's now for you to do the sound check, it's now for this. And then booking them also at the hotels, and then, just making everything to be easy. And I remember when I was very sick, it was almost like, everybody was like, Matlasela won't make it. And then with people like us, there was only just family which were allowed to come in. And Sibusiso will come, and then I'll give directives to Sibusiso to say, look, I want you to do this for me. Go and take care of this, go and pay this for me, and I'll give him the card and all that. And he will do just that. I will miss, the kind of a person that he was, like a son to me. But because to me was like, his uncle. There are a lot of stuff that I really did with Sibusiso. A lot of places that I went with. And then some of the other projects that I will start, and I'll call Sibusiso to say, look, this is the project I want to start. Can you help me just to brainstorm some ideas and then do a proposal? And Sibusiso won't hesitate and will do that immediately, and the outcome will be great. I'll miss his hand, I'll miss his advices, I'll miss his love. Him being like a J. Cole character, that energetic character. Umuntu othumekako, with respect. I've even co-written some of the songs with him. My latest album, Moya, where Sibusiso was like co-writing some of the songs that in Isiswati. And then when I needed, something that will sort of like really help me in my way of my career, Sibusiso was okay, I've got an idea. How about, Uncle, we do this? And I know that no, when it comes to him, it won't fail. I know that also he loved the people that he worked with, from the media side, everybody in Capital Life. The musos that we were together with, who were like more family to him, they loved Sibusiso very much and trusted Sibusiso with a lot of things. silahlekelwe. I, for one, I don't know what to say. He was like my right hand. At home, my kids, wife, everybody, we know that when Sibusiso is there, all is good. There's even a dog in my house, a small puppy, we call it the Bogi. He used to love Sibusiso very much, but he tended to hate Sibusiso in some way because Sibusiso bought a bike. And then when he comes with the bike, the dog didn't like that sound of the bike. Since from that time when Sibusiso comes, it will go crazy. Yeah. Sibusiso was somebody special. And then when he came to introduce me, to whom I called Makoti, oh, Zodwa, bekuphelele. She was so respectful, and then also supporting Sibusiso in everything. Whether Siyahamba will go for a long time somewhere and all that, but she knows that, okay, uhambe no malume, is going with the uncle, it's going to help the uncle. The other thing is that also Sibusiso loved his children. He will talk about them all the time, and then I think also there was one that he will also talk about him, I think from Tembisa, but all others, and then I also went with him to Bani and all that. So he loved his children, always talk about them. We love him back, and may, as he goes to the great beyond, Ndlovu, Shabangu, bonke bamukele ngizandla zimbili. Naye usisi wami makazwani lo bakamqeqesha, taught him morals and all that together with some of my nieces. Makazwani played quite a lot of important role. She was known in Malalane.